Dear Mr. Penny, have you heard that Neverfield Park is let at last? Do you not want to know who has taken it?
As you wish to tell me, I doubt I have any choice in the matter.
Have you heard? Have you heard?
A young man named Mr. Bingley has come to town.
With 5,000 a year!
Goodness. And he's single, to be sure!
What a fine thing for our girls!
How can it affect them?
My dear Mr. Bennet, how can you be so tiresome? You know he has to marry one of them.
Oh, so that is his design in settling here.
You must go and visit him at once!
Oh, yes, Papa!
There is no need, for I already have.
You have?
When?
How can you tease me, Mr. Bennet? You have no compassion for my poor nerves.
You mistake me, my dear. I've had high respect for them. They've been my constant companion for these 20 years.
Is he amiable?
Is he handsome? He's sure to be handsome.
5,000 a year, it wouldn't matter if he had a big pink face.
I'll give my hearty consent to his marrying of whichever of the girls he chooses.
So you'll come to the ball tomorrow?
I believe so.
I must have your spotted muslin, Jane, please.
I need it.
If you do, I'll lend you my green slippers.
And what do you say, Mary? Are you not excited by the prospect of a ball?
Society has claims on us all, Papa. As long as I have my mornings to myself, I consider an interval of recreation and amusement quite desirable.
And now here is Mr. Bennet gone away. And I know he will fight Wickham, and then he will be killed, and then what is to become of us all?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Monica.
Cheryl.
I hate to be a bother, but I noticed at the ticket window earlier you were just a little upset.
I'm fine. It's just they overbooked the flight and I got bumped off, so.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, I don't usually lose my temper like that. It's just, it's my son's birthday today and I've been gone on business all week. I just want to get home.
Phoenix is home for me too. I lived there my whole life. I tried relocating to other states, but I just couldn't leave the sunshine, you know?
Yeah, Chicago is definitely not the place for that.
It's freezing here, isn't it? I don't know how people can handle the cold and the wind. Oh my word, the wind is just awful. I would take Arizona winter any day. 70 degrees, yes please. Your kids must love playing outside all year round. My brother and I used to catch lizards in the canyons behind my grandparents' house. Oh, such a great time.
I just have the one son.
Oh, how old is he turning today?
He's 6.
Oh, he's just a little guy. I bet he misses you.
Well, he's with his father this week, so it's nothing different for him.
Oh, I see. Kids have it so rough these days. Divorce is really hard on them.
Yeah, well, we do the best we can. Now, I need to make a call, so if you'll excuse me.
Oh, don't trouble yourself, dear. I have to visit the bathroom before my flight. You know, the little girl's room. Have a good flight, dear.
Jeesh, why can't people just mind their own business?
Attention passengers of Flight 1332 to Phoenix. Will Cheryl LaSalle please come to check-in desk? Cheryl LaSalle to the check-in desk, please.
I'm Cheryl LaSalle. You paged me?
Miss LaSalle, a seat has become available on the flight, and we can get you a boarding pass now if you haven't already made other plans.
No, I haven't. That's great. Awesome. Wasn't I like number 8 on the waiting list? Did you have a whole soccer team cancel or something?
Actually, the person whose seat you are taking wanted to give it to you personally. They are taking a later flight. No one else in front of you has been called up. Must be your lucky day. Here's your boarding pass. Don't go anywhere. First class will be boarding in just a minute.
First class? are we all met?
Pat, pat. And here's a marvelous, convenient place for our rehearsal. This green plot shall be our stage, this hawthorn brick our tiring house, and we will do it in auction, as we will do it before the Duke.
Peter Quince!
What sayest thou, bully Bolton?
There are things in this comedy of Pyramus and Thisbe that will never please. First, Pyramus is to draw a sword to kill himself, which the ladies cannot abide. How answer you that?
By lacking parlous
I
fear.
believe we must leave the killing out when all is done.
Not a whit. I have a device to make all well. Write me a prologue and let it seem to say, we will do no harm with our swords, and that Pyramus is not killed indeed. And for the more better assurance, tell them that I, Pyramus, am not Pyramus, but Bottom the Weaver. This will put them out of fear.
Well, we will have such a prologue, and it shall be written in 8 and 6.
No, make it 2 more. Let it be written in 8 and 8.
Will not the ladies be afraid of the lion?
I fear it. I promise you.
You ought to consider with yourselves. To bring in, God shield us, a lion amongst ladies is a most dreadful thing. For there is not a more fearful wildfowl than your lion living, and we ought to look to it.
But therefore, another prologue must tell he is not a lion.
Nay, he must name his name, and half his face must be seen through the lion's neck. And he himself must speak through, saying thus, or to the same defect, Ladies, or fair ladies, I would wish you, or I would request you, or I would entreat you, not to fear, not to tremble, my life be yours. If you think I come hither as a lion, it were pity of my life. No, I am no such thing. I am a man as other men are. And there indeed, have him name his name, and tell them plainly, he is Snug the joiner.
Well, it shall be so. And there is 2 hard things. That is, to bring the moonlight into a chamber. For, you know, Pyramus and Thisbe meet by moonlight. Doth the moon shine that night we play our play?
A calendar, a calendar. Look in the almanac. Find out moonshine, find out moonshine.
Yes, it doth shine that night.
Why then, shall we leave a casement of the great chamber window open where we play our play, and the moon may shine in at the casement?
Aye, or else one must come in with a bush of thorns and a lantern, and say he comes to disfigure or to present the person of moonshine. Then there is another thing. We must have a wall in the great chamber, for Pyramus and Thisbe, says the story, did talk through a wall. You can never bring in a wall. What say you, Bottom?
Some man or other must present wall, and let him have some plaster, or some loam, or some rough cast way about him to signify wall. And let him hold his fingers thus, and through that cranny shall Pyramus and Thisbe whisper.
If that may be, then all is well. Come sit down, every mother's son, and rehearse your parts. Pyramus, you begin.